Alright guys, back again, Blackout video. And the Pels tapped that ass 130 to 101. Now, a couple things interesting about this one. Um, First of all, no starter played 30 minutes. Um, Lonzo and B.I. had the most at 29 and 28. Sorry about that, guys. I'm a little tired. Zion barely played 21 minutes. Um, Bledsoe played 23 and Steven Adams played like 20, which is good. They have a back to back because tomorrow they play Chicago. Um, Josh Hart played the most minutes and took the most shots. Josh Hart took uh, 16 shots. The next most was Zion at 13 and Bi at 12. Josh Hart had 20 points and 17 rebounds, uh, which is funny because they were considering not playing him because of back spasms, yet he pretty much played the entire freaking game with the exception of like 8 minutes. But they had no choice because Zion and Bi both got in foul trouble, which honestly is probably a blessing because now they're going to have more energy and be fresh, have fresher legs to go deal with, Chicago tomorrow. Which, you know, hint hint, that's where the trade rumor for Zoe is. Speaking of Zoe didn't have his efficient shooting night that he had the last couple games, but he still was efficient when it came to three. So he shot 5 of 12 from the field, and he had 3 of 6 from three, 15 points and 6 rebounds. Plus, he had that nice ass alley oop at the end towards Zion. Oof, that was wonderful. We ain't seen too many of them this season, so it's kind of good to get to see that again. Just a little reminder of Gentry. Like, hey, we still got this. Don't be sleeping on us because we'll come put it on you. But with that was Zoe's 20th game. Now is where the fun starts. Look, I've told you guys before. He's turned the corner. He has turned the corner. At this point, I think we can safely assume that this should be standard production from him as far as scoring is concerned. Because obviously he's not playmaking this season. And really, he's not even rebounding. But this should be common course. Now, he couldn't contain John Wall today on defense. John Wall was just too good. Um, he was stronger and he was faster. There's really not much Zoe could do to stop him. So, he had to contribute in other ways. He did a lot more attacking of the basket. This, I'm trying to think. This might be the first game where his field goal, like his twos, closely mirror his threes as far as the number of shots he's taking. Um, but he was okay. He turned out a decent performance. Uh, I ain't gonna write home about this one. This isn't like his other games where he was like cooking, but he was up in there doing his thing. I have no complaints. He played an all around game. Good to Zoe. You know, Outside of that, I don't really have much to talk about as far as the game is concerned with the starters. Now, the bench is another matter entirely. Now, I know they outscored Houston, but Houston didn't play Vic. Houston also doesn't have Christian Wood. So that should matter. But as far as this bench is concerned, look, Because of the foul troubles, Nall got to play. Nall got to play that he probably normally wouldn't have gotten because Stan is one of those doghouse guys. Once you're in, it's got to take a situation. You got to play yourself out of it. Um, Nall was turnover prone and missing passes and stuff. The normal stuff that we've come to accept from him. But in the fourth quarter and late in the third, I got to give him a little bit of credit here. He played some really good defense. He was very energetic and active. I like that. Um, he was moving around. He played really good closer toward the end of the game. So he redeemed himself a little bit, but overall, no, it's still no. He's still gonna make errant passes and turnovers. He's still gonna jump in the air he's gonna jump in the air without a thought of what to do and then try to make a dump off pass that ends up in a turnover. No will be no. He can't even make a simple entry pass to Zion. So it is what it is. But the defensive effort from him, I definitely liked. Kira was Kira. Nothing much to write home about. He had an okay game, I guess. He did catch that one. Was it alley? No, he attacked the basket and just straight up dunked, and it was like, wow, that motherfucker got some hops, But he was pretty good getting the ball across half court. Other than that, I really don't care too much for what he did. I don't think he did too much tonight. Um, so I'm not gonna get too much into Kira. I would like to see him position himself better when he's off ball. Um, but other than that, he was okay. JJ didn't play that much. JJ played like 7 minutes, had 4 points. You know, uh, I'm gonna call him the construction company because all he seems to know is bricks right now. So, Mr. Construction Company, uh, he didn't get to play much tonight. Outside of that, look, there was a lot of lineups that I didn't like. At one point, you had Josh Hart and Lonzo playing uh, both of your forwards. Ugh. You know, uh, Willie Hernan Gomez. I hadn't talked much about him. Willie Hernan Gomez had a double double. He had like 14, 10 or something like that. Really solid. Again, I'm going to toot my own horn. I said he should have been getting minutes way back in the beginning of the season, like when the Pels were like 4-2. I thought he should have been getting more play time, and he's sitting there proving it. And he basically played the entire fourth quarter, with the exception of the last minute or so when they just took him out and put in Hayes, because at that point it was a 29-point blowout. Um, but he was really solid. He was getting some passes to him, some dump off passes, and he was making it work. Even when he was getting double or tripled under the rack, he was still able to score. I thought that was pretty good. Plus, he was getting quite the number of rebounds or taps to knock the ball into the hands of one of the other Pelicans so that they could get another possession. So kudos to him. Very good all around game. Now, here's my thing, guys. Look, that bench unit where Zion is the focal point, where they stagger him and they have him, Josh Hart, JJ, Kara Ornall, and Willie Hernan Gomez. Look, a lot of things I don't like. First of all, part of the reason that lineup is so bad on the defense is they're not athletic, right? All it takes, you start swinging that ball or you get some dribble penetration and kick out, you got JJ having to try to go and contest the jumper. Good luck with that. Or Willie Hernan Gomez. Good luck with that. Or Zion, big heavy foot Zion. That's funny. You know, That's what you got in the second unit, which is why a lot of these teams are catching up to us because we aren't athletic enough and our horizontal movement is terrible. Between Zion and Willie Hernan Gomez and JJ, their lateral movement is so bad that all it's like opposing teams have realized look, if we attack them and kick it out, they can't recover. If we start passing the ball, they can't recover. And so that is going to continue to lead to leads being dropped. Again, the Pelicans are going to have to reconstruct this bench. This bench is terrible. It is terrible. Okay? Which is terrible. Okay? It is pure garbage, juice, all of that. Just it is pathetic. Now, with that being said, they did a pretty decent job today. Granted, they were playing a lot of what I would call G League level and deep bench level guys because a lot of Houston wasn't available. So don't be fooled by the box score and the bench points. But I'm gonna take that with a grain of salt. Look, the Pelicans deserve credit for their win today. But truthfully, this was only a competition because of John Wall. It's not too many guys in the league that Lonzo will get broke off on. John Wall is one of them. Those if you're one of these super fast guys like Fox, he could tear into Lonzo. The thing with Fox though is one, I think Lonzo understands him because they played numerous amounts of times, but he's not physically bulky. Like John Wall was just pushing Zoe aside. That's how strong he was. Plus the speed. It's kind of hard to deal with that, which is why I suggested that they trap him or they hedge him into a trap to get the ball out of his hands and force someone else to make the play. That's what I wanted to see happen in the second quarter. But, John Wall started to cool off, and, that was that. But, too many leads are being given up by the second unit. Like I said, not enough lateral quickness or length. Everybody's too slow footed to close out. And when that ball starts moving, it's just going to tear that unit apart. Uh, like I said, I don't really have too much to say about this game. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. Since they didn't play a lot of their main guys a long time, I expect to see a lot more Bledsoe and Steven Adams tomorrow. Maybe even JJ, especially Zion, since he didn't play that long. Those guys are going to get a lot of minutes tomorrow. Um, I had to tell you something. I have a feeling Zach LaVine gonna tear Lonzo ass up tomorrow. I really do. Uh, but I would actually, believe it or not, I would like to have Bi matched up on Zach LaVine tomorrow. You know, granted, I'm gonna say this: the Pels should win this game because they're missing Laurie Markkinen and I think Wendell Carter Jr. And so you just really got Zach and Kobe White and maybe like Denzel Valentine or something. But yeah, the Pelicans should be 12-12 tomorrow. Now it's going to be interesting, especially if you want Alonzo traded to the Bulls. He has to go get 30 on them or upper 20s. He got to have a stat line tomorrow. That will probably expedite the process. But man, if the Pelicans win this game, they got a decision to make because now you're 12-12. Do you break it up and trade Lonzo and undo all this effort that you just put in, plus possibly help Bi and Zion not want to resign back, or do you have to take the chance on it and just be like, look, we just have to bet on Zoe? This is gonna be an interesting one tomorrow. This one, depending on how this goes, could dictate the future of the uh, New Orleans Pelicans franchise. I cannot talk. Oh, one more thing. Let me say this. Yo, the refs tonight were garbage. Let me just the refs were garbage. We got texts on some bullshit. They weren't consistent in the foul calls. They were calling fucked up shit. Like they were literally at one point ruining the game. And I gotta say, between them and the times that Zoe got out, like I literally was not watching the game at points because I got sick of the bench units and I got sick of the ticky tack petty ass fouls and shit. I one of the refs, I can't remember his name. We had lost like 9 straight games when he ref their games, so I was a little concerned. And then that chick, I can't remember her name. She always seems to be like overcompensating. Maybe it's just me, but she always seems to be like calling like all kinds of whistles, and I just sit there and I'm like, what in the world? You know, I don't know. I don't know. I just know that the refs were pissing me off this game. But either way, good job to the Pelicans. You know, y'all got to go in and deal with Zach LaVine tomorrow. And so we'll see. Because I'm pretty sure it's going to come up. Hey, this is one of the teams listed like they wanted Lonzo. So here you go. Here's Zoe's audition. And this is also Zach LaVine and them saying, hey, man, if you come on over here, you got to deal with that bullshit. So we'll see. But that's all I got for y'all. Y'all have a good night and peace.